I'm Hope Coulter, Director of the Hendrix Murphy Foundation and the Murphy Scholars Program, and a member of the English Department here at Hendrix. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you here tonight. Whether you're from our campus community or whether you're from off campus, I'm so glad that you came to celebrate with us this special occasion as the students embark on their new venture. I wanted to tell you a little bit about our programming because you may be wondering just what you've gotten yourselves into, or parents, grandparents, you may be wondering just what this young person has gotten themselves into. 41 years ago, through the generosity and vision of the Charles Murphy family, the Hendrix Murphy Foundation was established here with a simple mission to enrich and enhance literature and language at Hendrix College. So for more than 4 decades now, it's been doing just that, with some activities that are targeted to the departments of English, theater arts, and languages, and many activities that are for the whole student body at Hendrix. The Hendrix Murphy Foundation sends students abroad. All Hendrix students have these opportunities to go abroad and study literature and language, to participate in theater and dramatic literature activities, to take part in a robust creative writing program, to enter literary competitions, and so much more. Every year, Hendrix Murphy brings distinguished writers to campus. Over the years, we've hosted a Nobel Prize winner 2 times, and many poets laureate, National Book Award winners, and American Academy of Arts and Letters Award winners. But 5 years ago, the foundation wanted to make a deeper curricular impact, and it started a new initiative, the Murphy Scholars Program in Literature and Language, by which a select group of students from all majors receives additional structured support to pursue their love of literature and language. Tonight, we induct 30 members of the first-year class who will remain active in the program till their graduation. As Murphy Scholars, they'll receive dedicated funding in the amount of $4,000 to use on their projects in literature and language, whether these are joining existing projects and programs in those areas or designing their own experiences in research, service, study, travel. They'll take an Oxford-style tutorial in literature and language as one of their regular courses, and they'll enjoy the camaraderie of like-minded fellow students in the program. So thanks are due tonight to our generous founders and to the Hendrix Murphy Foundation Board, which oversees all this programming and sustains it. Also to President Tsutsui and Provost Bonebright for your vision and leadership. To faculty members, I've seen several of you here tonight. You teach, encourage, and challenge these students. To the Murphy Visiting Fellows and the rest of our fantastic Hendrix Murphy Foundation staff who keep all these programs running smoothly and advise and mentor the scholars. Thanks to you, family and friends, who've come out to show your support. Especially siblings, I've seen a few of you. You shared your secret languages with these scholars. You fought over books in the backseat of the car with them and showed them that literature and language were worthy things worth arguing about and worth whispering about under the covers at night. To you, parents and grandparents and honorary parents, for all that reading aloud and talking and storytelling that you've done over the years to make these young people who they are, not to mention the midnight Harry Potter parties at bookstores, and I hope you don't recognize me from my Mrs. Weasley costume circa July 2007. Finally, to you new scholars, in your application essays, you wrote over and over about the wonders of literature and the mysteries of language, how language is not a barrier, but it's a bridge. I share your conviction that literature and language can cross borders, vanquish alienation, and bring people together. I'm excited to put your claims to the test and send you forth on this adventure. And now let me introduce Zabe Evans. She wants to bring a word of welcome from other scholars. Zabe is a Murphy Scholar, a French and biology double major. She's from Seattle originally, and she's in her 3rd year of the program. She brings a word of greeting from current scholars.
everyone. Tonight I'm just going to speak to specifically the scholars, but I hope that parents and family members can get something from what I have to say as well. Each of you was selected for this program because you're exceptional. You might have written a great personal statement or made a striking impression on a TEC teacher. However it worked out, Murphy sees potential in you. I hope this makes you proud, because the alternative is a very sinking sensation of, oh damn, people expect things of me. So if any of you are feeling this way, or are now that I mentioned it, sorry about that, don't worry. There are so many people ready and willing, even some of them are paid, guys, to help you succeed on this journey. You're currently sitting with 29 other fellows, or other scholars, who are in the exact same boat. That's 29 people you can work on projects with, not to mention the 83 other scholars in the program. Please get to know the Murphy Fellows. That's my biggest piece of advice for you. I'm still frequently in contact with 2 of the 3 previous fellows. Andy and Martin are a gift. Get to know their email addresses, find out their office hours, and also feel free to talk to me whenever you want. Stop me on campus. You can ask me questions about the program, Hendrix in general, anything. Lastly, I want to tell you a quick anecdote about the first time I visited Hendrix. I think it says a lot about me in this program and hopefully can be helpful for you as well. On the official campus walk, when we first got to the Murphy foyer, my dad and I snuck off to the left, drawn in by a roaring fireplace and chairs that looked suspiciously like my grandmother's. I think my dad was drawn to the Dickinson quote above the fireplace, but I was drawn to the ceiling-high bookshelves. I heard something in the background about free tea and coffee, and my father turned to me and said, I would spend just about as much time here as I possibly could. Now, I don't listen to much of my father's advice, but I'm happy to say that has stuck with me, and I'm constantly delighted to find myself sharing that space with other scholars during breaks between classes, or until Terry or Henrietta has to kick us out at the end of the day. As part of my speech tonight, I was asked to give you a word of advice, so I'd like to recycle from my father. Spend just about as much time in Murphy as you can. In addition to the tea and coffee, the number of times I've asked to borrow sticky notes or a stapler is truly staggering. I don't know why they put up with me. I also can't fully describe the benefits of sitting in Murphy House and writing a proposal or reflection and being able to pop upstairs to see Sarah for a quick question. For me, Murphy House is the heart of this campus, and I can't wait to share that space with you.
Well, good evening, everyone. What a pleasure and honor it is to be here this evening, not just to celebrate 30 talented young people, but also to celebrate the 5th class of the Murphy Scholars, a program which is really something unique among colleges and universities around the nation, and I suspect around the world as well. It's also a real point of distinction and pride for the Hendrix Murphy Foundation and for all of us at Hendrix College. I'll have to admit, as I walked into this elegant room this morning, I was struck by 2 observations, neither of which is perhaps the most appropriate for an event dedicated to literature and language, but which struck me strongly nonetheless. First is, I believe this is the first evening in about 8 months I have not had to go outside carrying an umbrella. And I am just so unused to seeing the sunshine that I had that meteorological observation. My second observation took me back to junior high physics, where I remember learning about Brownian motion, all the little things dancing in the air, that is to say, dust particles. So maybe appropriately for a room of this distinguished nature, it is also a bit dusty. So let me encourage you for your own health, if you have dust allergies, please do not breathe for the rest of our program. And to the extent possible, please do not shed any dead skin in here, because it will just make it worse. Thank you all for joining us tonight as we give thanks, offer congratulations, and launch this first freshman cohort of Murphy Scholars on their adventure in literature and language. I'll try and keep my words to a minimum, although the Hendrix Murphy Foundation is very much about words, their power, their beauty, their expressive force, and their absolute importance in a world that sometimes seems given over entirely to the digital, to numbers and statistics, and to a soul-crushing avalanche of data. And although I will be brief, our world seems, for better or worse, to be given over to brevity, to 140 characters max, capitalization, punctuation, and coherence optional. That seems at odds with the investment in expression, the reflectiveness of reading, the craft of writing, and the precision of mastering a world language, all of which are at the heart of Hendrix Murphy as well. First of all, though, let me give a few words of thanks. Thanks above all to the board of the Hendrix Murphy Foundation, especially Martha and Suzanne Murphy, for challenging us 5 years ago to reimagine the Foundation's programs in literature and language. The Hendrix Murphy Foundation has a distinguished history, enriching the life of this campus with some remarkable visitors, with strategic investments in new programs and resources for the college, with critical support for students, faculty, and departments, and by uplifting us all with the perspectives, inspiration, and creative energy of poetry and drama, Chinese and creative writing, study abroad programs, Word Garden, the annual playwriting contest, and the Literature and Language Over Lunch series. No other college in America has a gem like Hendrix Murphy, an extremely generous endowment dedicated solely to the promotion of literature and language, to the celebration, appreciation, sharing, and creation of words, written, read, and spoken. But even with this rich history, the board realized 5 years ago that we could do more, and in particular, we could do more in reaching students, in ensuring that the transformative power of literature and language went deep as well as broad on this campus. And the folks who took up this challenge are the folks we should thank next. The faculty in the 3 core Murphy departments, English, foreign languages, and theater and dance, and the absolutely fabulous staff of the Hendrix Murphy Foundation, and especially its wonderful director, Hope Coulter. I also want to recognize the provost, Terry Bonebright, who has worked closely with the faculty and with Hope in shaping the Foundation's programs, focusing its efforts even more acutely on students, and aspiring to an even bigger impact here at Hendrix and on the lives of the graduates who leave here. It is just amazing to me what the faculty, Hope and Terry, with the support of the board, and now with the input and lived experience of 4 classes of Murphy scholars, have developed. Hendrix Murphy's new and ever-growing vision builds upon the strengths of the Foundation's past, but creates new opportunities and new programs that sets the college even further apart from other institutions in what it can offer students in language and literature. The Murphy Scholars is, of course, the premier example of that, really the signature program of the Foundation. At the core of it is the Oxford-style tutorials. Hendrix is one of only a couple institutions in the United States able to offer this level of individualized education on a large scale. And I really enjoy hearing from the students and faculty involved in the tutorials what a rewarding experience they can be. I've heard more times than I can count from students that the tutorials helped improve their writing more than any other class or experience they've ever had. And I've heard from more faculty than I can count as well that the hardest part of the tutorials is that as opposed to most courses where they can speak as much as they want, in tutorials they have the challenge of listening. And I expect that's good for all of us to have once in a while. We continue, of course, with the Distinguished Visitors Program, which brings some amazing folks to campus. I do not know how many of our distinguished visitors historically have won Oscars, but this year, one of our recent visitors, Kevin Wilmot, the screenwriter, won for Black Klansman, which was really exciting, and it was fun being able to spend time with him on campus a couple years ago. And really, the last but not least, gift of the Hendrix Murphy Foundation to this program is our Murphy Fellows. And I just want to recognize them here, and I hope you will join me in applauding them. First, the multi-talented Martin Shedd, who provided piano as well as instruction in classics. Please stand up, Martin. And Andy Vaught in theater, who is usually not hard to pick out in any room because of his hair, but I couldn't see in here. Where are you, Andy? There he is. He looks like he has a halo of exclamation points about his head. It's really great. So thank you, truly, to everyone involved in conceiving, planning, and now implementing, nurturing, and growing this ambitious new direction for the Hendrix Murphy Foundation. It has been a thrill for me to see these new programs evolving, to see Hendrix Murphy gain an even higher profile on this campus and in the lives of our students, and to see our first cohort of Murphy Scholars graduate last May and launch very successfully into the world. And now, some words of congratulations. Congratulations to our new Murphy Scholars. You are already an accomplished and impressive group with a wide range of interests, backgrounds, experiences, plans, and dreams. I am thrilled you all applied to the program. I am impressed that you were selected through a very competitive selection process, and I have all the confidence that you will take full opportunity of everything that the Murphy Scholars is going to offer you over the coming years. I am, in fact, envious of the smorgasbord of events and classes and travel and study and fellowship that lies ahead for you. You are going to have experiences with literature and language that will shape your education, infuse your lives and careers, and change you as people. You are fortunate indeed, and I congratulate you. And I will say, I'm small enough to fit into your carry-on baggage when you go to Spain or Italy. And here is my challenge to you, 5th platoon of Murphy Scholars. You follow 4 very talented classes, which have already done some very creative, exciting, and amazing things. But I expect all of that, and even more, from you all. Embrace the experience of being a Murphy Scholar. Make the most of the opportunities available to you. Use the tutorials and the fellows and the distinguished visitors and the funding you have as a launch pad, energizing your education and your lives and this campus with literature and language. Live large and do good as Murphy Scholars. I am so glad to be here with you tonight and so pleased to be able to celebrate these 30 great young people and this flourishing program. Thank you all so much.
I am pleased to be the one who gets to lead the formal official induction for the new set of Murphy Scholars. The process, just to remind everybody, because I know it can be nerve-wracking when you have to come up on stage, is that first we'd like to have you sign your name in the induction book over here. Thank you for doing your best Vanna White, Hope. Then you'll receive your certificate, and you have people here to congratulate you by shaking your hand, and then please go back to your seat, and then we will congratulate all of you as a group when we're finished. Okay? All right, so let's get started. Sarah Adachi. Rachel Allen. Savannah Bader. June Bauman. Lauren Berry. Ben Blankenship. Phineas Chapman. Talia Fort. Julia Greer. J.C. Hall. Linnea Hamby. Sidra Hansen. Ishrar Islam. Elliot Jackson. Jessica Lehman. Christian Maddox. David Nichols. Weston Northington. Elise Robinson. Kashti Shah. Gabrielle Skirpin. Rachel Stewart. William Taylor. Sophie Thomason. Spencer Thompson. Keegan Vacanti. Sarah Ward. Lily Wilson. Anushka Yaduva. Marnie Younger. Please join me in congratulating the new Murphy Scholars. This concludes the official part of our program, but we hope that you will join us over in the Murphy House for a reception. So thanks again to everyone for coming.